Yeah. And,
You are going to agree to work on number 2.
okay. And, approve the agenda. We agreed to approve the agenda. Okay. And we're gonna table the golf cart tags until the meeting. And we're going into the alcohol sales. And we'll table the art funds till the December meeting. I'm gonna turn it over to you, Sunday, discuss the alcohol.
I sent everyone some material, and Sonia got it around for you. And paper always looks overwhelming, especially from the state agency. But at any rate, I thought y'all can think of today when you get together with the full board, submit the final recommendations. The 11 documents you have, I think the most critical one is how to apply for an ABC retail permit. And that's what, in addition to the 11 documents you have before you, which includes how to apply for the ABC retail permit, there is one document that a town official must always execute as part of the application. If you go to, it's the third document down, local government opinion for alcoholic beverage permits. This one would be the third, local government opinion.
Okay.
Did you find local government opinion?
Ours is not all stapled. I'll like that.
State.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That requires a town official always. So in this application process, while these aren't all the documents, they're the most critical. There are additional documents that are required. That it's like food menu, but that's something that you tell the retailer. But the menu, 5 photographs of the facility are required.
Okay.
And then a drawing of the facility. It's not, doesn't have to be rendered by an architect. But these are what concern you most, these 11. There's other additional, you can still help your person in the municipality that's applying, but they're going to have to do that, photographs, the drawing, the menu.
So by the December meeting, when we come in for December, we need to decide who the town,
Yeah.
that will be on that.
Yeah. I'm going to toss some ideas in the hat. It's another duty for the municipality. You don't have a lot of manpower. And when you go through all of this between now and the December meeting, you need a town official to execute the document. Every application requires one town official. Do you want it to be one of your board members? Do you have funds for a part-time person? Do you want it to be the mayor? There is a town official involved in every application that you have to sign off.
Okay.
Keep in mind, we don't know how many, so how many you have. That's what a town official, I think it should be one and not,
Right,
track down Sean, track down Jack.
right.
Right. Then I think you want to help your town retailer that's doing all this. So do you have your clerk have an application file folder to handle? Whatever you want to do to facilitate, but you need, your applicant needs this information. I think you ought to provide, I think the town should provide it instead of making them go on which one.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to try to,
Clerk provide that. You're gonna have a committee. It might not be a bad idea if a committee, be a town official or someone else.
that might be a good idea to
You've got Fun, you've got
discuss too.
Sherry, you've got the mayor and 3 board members. Who else do you have? No, you don't have to answer that now, but just, and maybe instead of it being retailer coming in, we know exactly who to go to.
That person might have to act as kind of a liaison to the,
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
to the retailers.
and that's exactly what you want as a liaison. Because your liaison and town official really need to be familiar with this. And we could go through it here in a little more detail. But your retailers is going to be tough because they have a lot to do, but it's spelled out in the instructions, like 80K. Of course, you're in 80K too, the town official. But if you start on how to apply for the retail permit, but I think first you ought to decide on the body, how you're going to tackle this animal, how many applicants you're going to have, maybe up to half a dozen, thereabouts. But in Roman numeral 1, 80K, that's where your town officials involved in the local government thing, on that says. But your retailer's going to have to go get the fingerprinting. They're going to have to supply valid ID, and there are forms in this packet for that, everything. The very first, after these directions, the very first one is the application for ABC retail permit. It's,
Okay, I found
it's detailed at 2 pages. That'll be in the packet for your retail. But it doesn't go anywhere until they have this application completed. And it doesn't go anywhere until the next
That's
one
the first thing.
is the application for ABC retail permit.
Okay, I'm gonna write later.
I think, Sean, what we need to do is whoever we decide to be the town official, they need to kind of come in here and get this all prepared and not put it off on Sherry and Sonia,
Yeah.
so that we can have the applications and all of it ready, and then they'll be more
Perhaps some
familiar
help.
with it.
Maybe
Yeah.
designate some help from one of your employees. But of course, your Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission, the overall. And the next one is the local government opinion. The applicant only fills out this first page, and the town official does the rest. And it's 2 pages, and then these are the factors that your town officials to consider. So the local government opinion, let's get a,
Okay, look.
we need a,
This is the one where
and there's what the local government official is considering are these issues right here.
this.
You need special.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna try to put this together, so really the town official and the person that's doing it, this is gonna be the major one for them to concentrate on.
And then your building inspector's involved, that's the next one, your inspection zoning compliance. These are all must. Now, there's another subset, but these are all a must, but you have your building inspector. And so, I think to provide information to the applicant in this folder you give them, should have the, how to contact the building inspector, how to get any waiting list.
So it's,
But it's required.
would it be the town official responsibility to contact them or the retailer?
I think it's the retailer. Really, the retailer is the applicant all the way through.
Yeah.
We just pretty much
But I
give
think
them
you
the
need to
packet
help.
and then,
You want to assist them, I mean, because it is convoluted. But you want to assist them by having this basic packet together.
Yeah.
And then the retailer can make the decision about this subset of documents, what they have to do for that. But my recommendation is at least to have this together. And you're not gonna
Where is your
Yes,
building
sir.
inspecting one? I'm gonna try to staple mine together so that I'll have it.
So you have your directions from the commission. It's 3 pages.
Okay, I've got it right here. I think she got it.
Then you have your application for retail.
Okay,
It's 2 pages.
no, that's,
It's basically 2 pages. I mean, by the time you attach everything, it may be a heck of a lot more. Okay, then you have your local government.
that's this one. This is the only one I've got.
It's 3 pages.
I've got 2 of them. One of them, I guess, is just an example.
No, that's local government. I don't know, you ended up with 2.
Yeah, and this one's road on, so it must be like an example or something.
Okay.
All right, now, we're down to inspection, zoning compliance.
Here's the,
I don't know that you need, the official doesn't need to be, the town doesn't need to be involved in making these appointments. The town should be involved and provide who it is,
Yeah.
where to find them. Did you find that?
yeah, I got the zoning.
Okay, next is the federal employer ID. Whether you're a corporation or an individual,
Okay.
this form takes care of it.
Is it 1 page or
1
2?
page.
Okay, I got it now.
Okay.
Authority for release of information. Your applicant, again, this is all part of, this authorizes the ABC Commission to check with law enforcement.
So you, like a background on.
You don't have anything to do with it, you're providing them this.
Yeah,
Um,
so we're just,
Then the alcoholic, or the control commission, if it's a corporation, this is only if it's a corporation, you have to disclose the member's interest. So that's for corporation. Then, and this is a must, the recycling compliance form. And I don't know that we do, this is when you pick up. This is when you have designated boxes for pickup at your station. Okay. Self-hauling, recycling, or exemption request form. One of these have to be selected. Either pickup by the municipality, self-hauling, or a request for exemption.
okay.
So
So,
it's one of these 3 they have.
so if they don't want to recycle, they have to fill out the exemption.
And you only get it, it's only authorized for 1 year.
So they're,
And it's not, they don't look at this one as applicant.
so they're compelled to recycle pretty much.
Well, pretty much,
Yeah.
unless they rise to the hurdle for the exemption. And they have to do that annually. And then this is required. The commission's not even going to look at any of this till the applicant can prove the seller server training.
Okay. So they have
We
to,
have in the state of North Carolina, for example, you're required now to be trained in how to say no. We have no stop.
so they've got to take this mandatory training before
Mandatory
anything.
training. Okay,
All employees has to take it, or just the
Or
actual
not.
site?
just the,
Just the seller.
I mean, all the sellers' employees are just the ones directly involved, you know?
I'm gonna, in order to have the hurdle of, it's just for the seller. But if you have a server in there, which you know you're gonna have, you're gonna have to have it too.
Well, it's pretty
Yeah.
much seller server training, so
Yeah.
everybody would have to do it.
Yeah.
So basically, the first things to do is to have the form, and then this is gonna be,
Well, I
They're not
think
gonna
this
look at
is the
any of
whole
the
pack-
other.
Well, no, well, they need it simultaneously, because you need to get your building inspector over there. You need to get your government official there. So, I mean,
Okay.
this is, they need all this at one time.
okay, I see what you're saying.
Because they can get their verification form done.
Mhm.
A lot of this needs to be notarized, and do their authority to release. It all needs to go in together.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't give it to your applicant. Right, I wouldn't piecemeal it to your retailer, who's gonna be the applicant to the
Yeah.
commission. And I would go ahead and give all 3 pages on recycling. I mean, it's either hauler, self-hauling, or request for exemption, so let them make the decision about how they're gonna do it. And then this gives the requirements of the certification for the seller service training. And, you know, your seller may not start off with any servers right away. You know, sometimes sellers try, or the retailer tries to handle it. That's not your decision.
Right.
They're gonna, and if someone's out of compliance, that's not really your decision, that'll be the
Yeah.
commission. So, in a nutshell, this will get it going. And then there's a subset. They've got to do that, the drawing, the pictures. But A to K here, Roman numeral 1, A to K, and you've got it right here.
So is there different forms for restaurants versus, the, gas stations? Quick stops, is there a different form for,
It's not really a form per se, it's just a subset of requirements. It's like, if you're a restaurant, well,
I was just thinking, well, if they're a restaurant and they come in, we need to have a different
No,
folder
you
for
can't
them other
miss.
than,
this is required here.
okay,
This is required here.
right,
The subset will be what the individual decides. What type of photos, the photos are different. The menu, there's an exception to the menu, but that's something your applicant will have to do with the commission. But this right here opens the door to start the process.
Okay.
And then the subset, they're just gonna have to do. There's no form for the drawer. Not that I found.
I just didn't know if there was one different for restaurants than there would be just your BP station down there that's, you know, they're
Well,
just selling by the can or
there's-
the bottle, and the restaurant is selling by the drink at the table.
yeah, there is a subset that's different for private clubs than for restaurants and hotels. There's a subset of documents. And if you have a private, like a country club or a private membership club, they have a different subset, but again, they still have to do this.
Right.
But to answer your question, yes, but the private club has, I don't know, it's much more, but has a significant number of documents in the subset as opposed to the restaurant and hotel. And of course, the type of permit, and the instructions, how to apply for a retail permit. Those are annual fees. And make sure your applicant, you want to be helpful to your applicant, but you can't, I mean, everyone's going to have to make appointments,
So every year they're gonna.
get to the sheriff's department, fingerprinting.
So every year they have to reapply.
Well, in a more minimal way, but they have to pay every year.
Yeah.
But that, they can see that permit fees are attached. When you handle this portfolio of information, the permit fees are attached. Of course, it changes from time to time. Starting out the gate, this would be high. I get something else you're gonna put in place. This will get them started. They're all requirements. This, questions on the subsets, you can have them. It's a lot of labor on their own. And if the building inspector doesn't pass them, you can't help that. They'll have to fix whatever. If the town official has some issues, but their directions are what you're signing off.
Okay. Okay. What was the town official have issues with them?
Well, this is your factors for you to consider.
Okay.
It's the third page, and I can commit those to memory. In terms of, when you look at facility.
You are with
Of course, you'll have them with you.
Okay, I found it.
Here are the factors to consider, literally the factors to consider.
Oh, so, on that number 5, mentions whether the establishment is located within 50 feet of a church, public school, or any non-public school.
Yeah,
Is that a law, or is that?
Yeah, whether you have it in your ordinances, that's a requirement.
Okay. But I mean, if it isn't 50 feet,
Then they can't apply.
they can't apply,
Well,
or is that just a
you're
suggestion?
not, that's just part of the application process. You'll complete this and say yay or nay or whatever. If you'll look at you have the bottom of page 1 and page 2. So you have a heavy burden. The
Right.
town official has a heavy burden because
Yeah.
it's either yay or nay.
I mean, is that actually in the statute that they cannot, if they're within 50 feet of a church, public school?
That's what
Or is that the town's discretion? That's what I'm asking.
No, I don't think it's the town's discretion.
So
It
it's actually-
cannot be.
Okay.
So that would be one factor.
That they need to know right off the bat.
Yeah. They don't go through all that and realize they can't do it.
And that could be something else you put in this portfolio of information. They need to know. But there's a lot to know. They're going to do a criminal history check. The commission is.
Yeah.
That person has to be fingerprinted. So there's a hurdle for retailer. And this may be something, you raise a good point, in fact, the factors that the town must consider.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't put it, official's name, that's just factors the town must consider. And make that a separate, put it in the portfolio.
Yeah.
Because, you're making, these are factors, and 18B, something I can provide to you. Look at, this is the ballpark. This is the ballpark. But 18B has, and that's your controlling statute for the alcohol commission.
There is some ambiguity there. I mean, it says
Yeah.
evidence of illegal drug activity. What would be considered evidence? And, you know what I mean?
So, and I know this is their
This is
first.
a tough one. I mean, you have to, this is these are factors.
Okay, and
And
these
so
factors,
there's nothing, as you say, factors are something you take into consideration. There's some more factors. This is what you consider. There's more to this statute. But when the town looks at completing the local government opinion form. The permit, you wrap your head around these 9 factors. I'll pull the statute and highlight some other things too. You could be accused of being too subjective. So you want to spend some time understanding.
Are we supposed to be coming up with?
Yeah, you're making recommendations of whether you approve this. But the commission has the final art. I mean, the commission will look at this and say, well, they'll weigh this. So that when I say commit these to memory or commit the whole statute, they're factors. And I can easily see accusations of being subjective. Parking facilities, traffic conditions, kinds of businesses already in the neighborhood. If this is an ABC store, well, it couldn't be next door to a Chapter. You're looking
So
at
is
what's
that,
around.
is that considered part of the zoning laws?
Well, but, no, that's your recommendation.
And do LMVs, like your,
Kinds of businesses already in the neighborhood. That has nothing, it's already been zoned. It's what is your opinion of the kinds of businesses in the neighborhood and then having a permitted retail for alcohol. And then there are these other businesses, and right here, they're allowing you to have, this permit is allowing you to, the town to have an opinion about whether you want, you can say, no, we don't want a alcohol permitted retailer. Which is 4 other businesses that are clustered right there.
So what you're saying, the ambiguity in the language gives us some leeway to say no, what you're saying.
No, I'm saying it's not the ambiguity, it's subjective.
Yeah.
It's subjective. It's not ambiguous. It's subjective. They're letting you read what are the kinds of business. And so you're saying you don't want the alcohol retailer because of these 3 other businesses lined up there.
Yeah.
That's
Giving
would
the
be
town some discretion.
accusations of subjective. Would be detrimental to the neighborhood.
explain.
Now, the zoning laws, well, you would know the zoning laws. You already have your building inspector and zoning compliance application.
We really have any zoning laws, to be honest.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Because if we have it, do we
Yeah.
need to make any changes, or are we?
I don't believe we do.
Okay.
At
So
some
that's
point,
kind of
at some point, I know it's a difficult subject, but zoning down the road may be something to consider, but you're gonna rely on your inspection and zoning compliance application too. And all these go hand in hand.
Well,
On
on what grounds could the building inspector deny the permit?
unsafe.
Just for unsafe?
Well, so they're gonna look at roof
Yeah,
structure.
against the officer. Just normal things that they
Yeah,
would
I think
normally do
so.
for any other business. Yeah.
And you have to decide, I mean, they have to, the building inspector says the building is in compliance, non-compliance. So again, everyone has a quote, an opinion in this. The building inspector can give the party time to,
Why?
just because the first one turns out negative, they can bring the building into compliance.
Right.
So, the doorway's too narrow, the back door exit, fire safety code, bar is broken.
Okay.
I just wonder if there's
Some
special,
of this may be a glitch along the way, but
Yeah.
you can correct it.
I was just wondering if there were special requirements for business serving alcohol post and what to get. Or is the building inspector?
No, we have a building code.
Yeah.
So. There's criminal background check. The applicant submits to just a wide open investigation. But you raise I think you raise a good point on the local government opinion, having that maybe separate. To give the person, the applicant, a heads up, this is, in terms of the municipality being involved, this is your duty. We can look at these factors.
Yeah.
And we can all make this a little bit, I'll put some more from it to you. Well, I think one, we need our certification in the state board of election, free will.
Yeah.
So we need our certification. I think that's something that then we, know exactly what the vote is.
That's our first thing, what we need to do.
State board of election. We probably have to go to.
So
I
we
think
get
it'd be
that.
at least something.
Get that. And
You
then
can
we'll-
check with your sheriff's department, for example, if there's, in Cherokee County, fingerprinting for visitors and license and certificates special. It's only on Thursdays, like from 1 to 5. So you might want to check, you want to help they're coming to or they're in the municipality.
Navigate the bureaucracy.
Yeah, right. Whatever, A to K, whatever you can do to help navigate it, you can put it in the file. If there's only a fingerprinting process a day certain.
Right.
E, for example, they have to go to the register of deeds for if they own the property. Forgot that deed. And the portfolio information could be Kim's name and number.
Yeah.
I gotta get the bunch of statements about what the files are.
But just help with the bureaucracy.
Hell, it was a damn house.
And more than anything, I know it's, is how many applicants you think you'll have, and then designating your town official and whoever's going to assist the town official.
Yeah.
And getting on board with.
I know we would vary, Ellen, but what would be a rough estimate of timeline for his to start? I know it's hard to say, but
A lot of it's held up at the state
yeah.
level, so it's at least, from what I've been told, 3 to 4 months. Yeah.
You'll want to do your best to be timely here.
Yeah.
From the time they walk in and get their portfolio, of course, you can't control, the individual needs to be at
Right.
home, and if they're not an eager beaver.
Yeah, that's probably the first thing they're gonna ask, is the reason I'm asking that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Maybe put some time limits on yourself, talk to the building inspector, but,
yeah,
maybe be as, if your applicant is armed and ready.
Yeah.
Has all the information.
So,
Because it will be, once it gets to
but we need to,
ABC Commission.
the first step's getting a certification from the state board of election, right?
Right.
Then when can they start applying?
Well, I think when you're organized and ready.
Okay.
And I think you ought to pick a date certain. Of course, once you get the certification, I mean, I read about it in the paper, we all know what's happening, meet you.
And that'll be after the next meeting and everything, right?
Well, it's like you could get one of them.
So you could,
Yeah, I mean, the state board of elections does it for the county.
Yeah.
Municipality.
But, so, what I'm saying is, the green light don't start till the
Oh.
certification, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're right, right.
So when that comes in, when that certification comes in, the town has the green light.
Right.
That's what I'm-
You do,
that's
that's
right,
right,
yeah.
that's exactly how that.
Yeah.
You know, you need to, you want to assist your applicant too. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't make them fill it out, but they're gonna have to be either do all of this. And you'll help them as much as you can with names and numbers, the sheriffs, if there's a set time for fingerprinting. You'll want to be proactive. And it's new for everyone. I doubt that, well, it's possible the building inspector doesn't know that they're part of the loop.
Yeah.
number one thing is the certification.
Yeah.
And we can kind of get started on that now.
Yeah.
And then be able to have a little bit of a knowledge about what's took place at our next meeting.
Right.
And then we won't have to be wondering, okay,
And I look at this statute a little more too.
Okay.
You want to be able, you're not going to rubber stamp this. You're going to address these factors because you want everything clear. And as you say, putting this in the file form, I think that that's a applicant. But I'll also pull some more information.
Mhm.
But these are factors you can see.
Yeah, when I was thinking that probably should be the first thing they show to them. Don't want to go through all this and realize they can't do it.
That was it in a nutshell.
Okay.
Can motels sell somebody such as Quality Inn or San Ran or somebody or no?
You mean like a bar in the room
Something of that nature, right? Cooler
or a
downstairs.
bar downstairs?
There's some. Yes, to answer your question, yes.
that's what I thought. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking
yes.
is, I thought,
But there
well,
are some regulations about,
Okay.
it's this one.
there's some regulations
Okay, I
about the
see it now.
facility where it is. And it would have to comport with, that's why they want all these pictures, they want drawing. You're not gonna be able to have a converted back, basically what it is called a barn, it's enough room for two people. But they're not gonna pass that. So, there are some requirements that the ABC commission will look at in terms of exterior and interior. And if the hotel complies with that, same you're not gonna end up with, this sort of pop-up.
Yeah.
Pop-up tents or something, pop-up facility. I mean, this is the process, the ABC commission maybe, in terms of processing all the paperwork, there's also, they have a kitchen in the health department, they're gonna call in the health department.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not just the alcohol permit, they look at the composite of the situation. And that's what you're doing in that form. You're looking at the composite of the situation. It's a lot of, you have a lot of leverage there. The local government opinion is, who is this person? That's part of these factors. So it's the same thing in the ABC commission. What is this facility? It's not just whether the alcohol permit per se, it's what is the facility. The person could have had the certification 6 months ago, and they'd be ready with everything. And the ABC commission came for you. The town council. So I don't know.
You got an extra one of these packets like yours?
Well, no, I've just got this one.
Okay. I was gonna give one to Kim, I think it was supposed to be a board member.
Oh, okay.
Give him one right there, give him.
Here, let me give him some.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
That's left in.
Yeah.
I've got a couple questions, if it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
Now, when you talk about the fees and stuff, is the town gonna be able to charge like a licensing fee to generate some revenue off that? Like a alcohol permit fee inside for the town? Or do we just have to go by state?
We have to go by state.
Okay, so,
This is, let me find the one with the permit fees.
All that money goes to the state then?
So we can't charge a fee of our own is what he's asking.
yeah, can we not charge like a business license fee to serve alcohol or?
Business license fee, no longer permissible.
Okay.
But, there is a formula for when there's spirits and the community, the law enforcement benefits from it. Whether in the private establishment, that's something that can look different. I didn't see when you qualified in the formula if there was spirits.
Okay.
But
Well, did I
that's
find that?
something we could,
I'd like to
we'll
research
go
that
back
one.
to 18,
Okay.
18.
It's called, referred to as a formula. Okay. I was thinking about reaching out to the ABC commission anyway. I can ask them some of this stuff.
And then you was talking about pop-up facilities now. Could we have like alcohol sales at festivals and, like 4th of July Heritage Festival? Will it be able to permit the alcohol sales there?
I think you need, this is where it comes in, part of your planning, is you need an ordinance about whether you're going to permit.
So did you mean the city itself, Kenneth, or a private organization?
No, it's not.
Just allow permits, temporary permits to set up booths or something.
Yeah. And we
I
just have,
probably wouldn't agree with Heritage Festival, it's too many kids,
Right,
yeah,
but you know, like, I know down, like, Neil Cap, I know a lot of the motorcycle groups, because I ride, and they lose a lot of business because it's not permitted, but they might be willing to come into town if we had like a fairground or something, we could charge booths and festival fees and let them come in like,
yeah.
And you can, but you need an ordinance.
So the town would have to pass it.
And that's something, you may be needing to push this out to January. You need an ordinance for special
Okay.
permit use, and that's when you can get some money as well. So special permit use.
I'll reach out to these other towns and see what their ordinances are.
I know some of them have contacted me, let me know, how we were gonna do that, and different breweries,
yeah.
and how, the taste test things or
If
whatever
you're
like
gonna
they do.
allow, for example, you need an ordinance if you're gonna allow
We definitely want to draw that
on
up.
the street for a festival. And some of the communities around here have ordinances already for special events. It's not
Yeah.
daily, but special events. And there's a permit application and fees.
Okay.
So in that ordinance for that, could we draw up our permit fees for
Yeah,
that?
I think you need to regulate,
Because, that's something
but you said if
special.
you're gonna allow
So we're short permits.
to set up and to set up at festivals.
Wasn't that what you said?
Yeah,
But not the town setting.
Yeah, private businesses, but the city can charge them for.
Is the training online, the servers training and the retailers training, or is that something we need to think about offering?
Well, it'd be your community college.
Tri-county or Southwestern?
so we need to find out from the other counties where they send their people for
Yeah.
training. So basically, our first steps are getting the certification from the state and trying to draw up the ordinances
Right, and I'll get you some more information on that.
and, setting up the town official.
Yeah.
And if we're gonna decide to have a committee attached with that.
Now, these other towns, they've got like an APC.
That's if they have alcohol.
Right, so we're not required to do that since we don't, okay.
Not for just beer and wine.
Yeah.
But to allow beer and wine is very, it's private events and festivals and is very, very expensive.
Right.
Yeah. So you still have to do that. On your seller server training, it'd be interesting to find out if someone like Tri-County would offer that. You know that others
Yeah.
I think they all go to Southwestern
do.
in Silva.
Some of these Tri-Counties,
You saw it in
they look, they hand out the classes, but I don't know if they, a lot of times they don't get enough people to sign up. It wasn't really a training, it was like I don't know exactly what they worded it
We'll just have to reach out to both of them, Southwestern and Tri-County, and see.
as.
So I'll get some ordinance information for you, because I've been involved for special, whether it can be on the street or some has to be designated areas.
Yeah.
That's something I have to take. You say that.
And then we get some on the certification from the Board of Elections. Before our next meeting.
Because it has to come. To certify the election.
We need to get the ball rolling if we're going to, and not just.
Guys, we're looking at some time anyway. That's how your work, it's gonna be public hearing. I sent an email to Toby, but you may feel like you did.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. And then you all have to go. But you-
If we were to reach out to one of these other counties as far as trying to figure out how they got started on it, which one would you have a recommendation as to which one to reach out to?
Most recently would be over in Hazel, they looked it up 10 years ago or so. That's not, I mean, that's the only recent one.
Well, actually Andrews has
I mean, they, been a while since
special
they,
permits.
yeah, I mean, she's talking about, most recently voted in, I guess.
Well, just how their format is and how they started it, so that we can kind of get a little bit into it than just paperwork. I guess I see things, you know,
So is it, did you say Waynesville
Hayesville,
or Ace?
Hazel.
yeah, they were the last one I remember that voted in, that was about 2011 or something. I don't know if the city, the town of Hazel, or if it's Clay County, I'm not sure. And then up around, I think Barnesville up to there, something, they voted yes.
So,
I can't reach might have that special for the, ordinance, I'm not sure.
they do like to
Yeah, because I know they had that Oktoberfest thing.
factors. I'll give you some factors.
Other business.
Okay. And that's a lot to.
All right, I guess we agree to, close this work session. Appreciate everybody coming.